me, safety is about giving myself some space. It's about taking my time and slowing things down so I don't react on impulse when my thoughts of suicide are really strong.
Safety for me is being in a place where I can be myself, so I don't have to worry about who's around and what people might be thinking of me.
Safety to me is quieting the craziness in my mind, stopping the spiralling, stopping me losing control.
I want you to do exactly what your partner's doing, okay? Off you go.
Safety for me means not being judged for the things I'm going through and the way I'm feeling. So I guess meaning I can be myself and be accepted.
Safety to me is a place I can just be myself and relax. It's a place where I don't have to play the game. A place I can be me. This is where the panic of pleasing everyone around me stops and my suicidal thoughts stop too.
When I'm feeling suicidal, I need some space. I hate the feeling of being shut in any small spaces, so if I can, I always go outside. When I'm outside, I feel like I can breathe. I can look at the sky and I don't feel trapped.
I need to be doing something that I want to do, something I can lose myself in, to help drown out the crazy. That's what keeps me safe.
When my thoughts of suicide get too much, I'm better off in a safe place, away from the things I would use to harm myself. I usually regret self-harming. If I can talk things through with someone that I trust, that can help me to calm down.
I need calmness. I need calmness to focus in on me. This can help me look at what I can do to stop my suicidal thoughts, which could be listening to my music, having a bath, or even talking to someone who just gets me, understands me. My cat can help calm me down too.
When my thoughts are racing and getting too much, I feel like I need to keep busy and try and distract myself. I feel like I can easily just start thinking about things and get myself really worked up, which just makes me feel worse.
I get triggered when I get flashbacks. See, I really hate getting bad flashbacks. Sometimes though it can be the most random thing, like it totally makes no sense. Someone could say or do something that wouldn't normally bother me, but somehow leaves me raging. And that's what triggers me.
When I'm in places with a lot of people and have no way to get out, I have social anxiety, so even when people aren't looking at me, I feel like they are. If I feel like people are judging me, it makes me want to escape, get away from all the negative and hateful comments. It's become so big in my head.
When someone is angry with me or I think I've done something wrong, I worry about it. It's like I can't focus on anything else because the last thing I would ever want to do is hurt someone. I just obsess over what's happened and think about killing myself so I can't hurt anyone else.
I can sometimes find myself scrolling through social media and constantly comparing myself to other people. I sometimes find myself getting lost in news feeds and I tend to feel worse after that. It makes me feel if I can't be like that, then what's the actual point in me being here?
Feelings of not fitting in, being the odd one out. I am a loner and I know I don't fit in, so yeah, I'm okay when I'm alone, but when I'm with lots of people I feel so crap. I see the looks and I hear the sniggers, and that's when I feel like life would be easier for everyone if I wasn't here.
What happens to me mentally and physically when I'm feeling like I want to die, I get really upset and can't stop crying. I guess I have really low self-esteem, so when I compare myself to others or look in the mirror, I feel like I don't fit in. Like I'm never going to fit in, or no one's going to love me.
When my social anxiety is bad and it triggers thoughts of suicide, I start to hyperventilate. Sometimes I have panic attacks. I sweat and become really agitated. Sometimes I'm sick. Being this way just because there are a lot of people around makes me feel pathetic. Like I'm never going to be able to cope in the world, so I might as well die.
When I see people sniggering at me, I start to feel physically sick and can't breathe. I get really panicky and I just want to disappear. This is when I see all the different ways I could end my life. They flash through my head so quickly and it's so scary.
I couldn't surround myself with more strangers. They were harmless for the most part.
I start to panic and shake. I feel as though I can't breathe. My arms go numb and I feel as though I'm going to faint. I feel numb to everything around me. It's like nothing is real and all I can focus on is getting myself out of the situation.
Like, it's so hard to describe. A bit like being angry, but you don't know why you're angry. So that makes you raging, and I mean like proper fuming. I really want to hit something. No matter what started it, I always end up angry with myself.
The way I calm down is I make myself turn away and focus on taking deep breaths. I'll put my hand on my stomach, which calms me down and helps me to breathe deeply. It's a trick my teacher taught me. I also know that I have choices, so I can do what's best for me at the time. I could call a friend, nip to the toilet, or even go home if I need to.
I tried mindfulness a few times and that helped. And also I love to dance and sing. At first I was too shy to sing in front of anyone, but my mum suggested this performing arts group and I love it. My mum is really supportive and I feel more relaxed and comforted when I'm with her.
I have to be doing something. Don't tell me to watch a film or take a bath. That might work for other people, but not me. I need to be creating, to have some control of the outcome. Maybe I'm control freak, I don't know. So we either need to be doing something, playing some music or drawing, or even a video game, that can work.
Having someone else there does help to ground me. I can tell them how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. It helps me to make more sense of the situation and rationalise things. It just makes everything feel more real, if that makes sense.
Taking my focus away from the panic can really help. Grounding myself so my mind's distracted makes a real difference. It helps me to get through the moment, to calm my thoughts and remind myself that I'm not trapped. I can walk out of places. I've also learned to use breathing techniques. Sometimes they give me a sense of peace and it feels like I'm getting some control back.
A better day for me is when my anxiety is manageable. There's nothing big going on, good or bad. Just a normal day when things run smoothly. I'm not asking to be happy, just to be okay.
I feel better when I'm out walking, when I have space and time to be. When I'm alone, there's no pressure and no judgments. When my thoughts of suicide spiral, it's good to be around someone that I trust. I have to make sure I don't isolate myself too much.
I feel better either when I'm spending some time with my mum or when I'm singing or dancing. It helps me escape and feel like I'm good at something, which is the opposite to how I feel most of the time.
My music makes me feel better. When I'm doing something I'm totally into, that I can really focus on.
A good day for me is, say, when everything's gone to plan in uni or at home. Like I've had no last minute changes on my timetable or with my plans. These types of days really help with my anxiety, but I really don't cope well with last minute change for some reason.
I don't feel safe when my mind's racing with other people's judgments of me. I remember every negative comment that's ever been said to me, anytime anyone's made me feel small or worthless. When these thoughts take hold, I can start to panic.
I don't feel safe when I've been thrown into unfamiliar places with unfamiliar people. Like a different lecturer just turning up in my lesson who really doesn't get me, can trigger off my negativity and trigger my panic, followed by my suicidal thoughts.
1.
On my own at night, or when my thoughts seem to be racing around in my head and less controllable, it really affects my sleep and I'm tired and sometimes grumpy the next day. I go on my phone before bed, even though my mum tells me not to.
Lovely.
And I look at other people's profiles and wonder why I'm not like them.
For me, the craziness can happen any time, like completely out of the blue, and can be proper scary. As if I'm in, I don't know, like some sort of volcano that can erupt or whatever, without any warning.
Sometimes, when I'm alone at night, I'd say that's usually an unsafe time for me. I struggle to sleep, so at a time when my thoughts can run wild, I lie awake thinking about every stupid thing I've said and done and wonder why I'm even here.
I can communicate with anyone when I'm in a good mood. Do the whole eye contact thing and everything. Good listener too. Just totally depends on my mood, really. When I start spiralling and going crazy, when I start shouting and screaming, I just get this seething rage.
I find it really hard to tell people I'm struggling. I usually shut down and isolate myself, which I know doesn't help. It's strange because I really do want someone there with me, but the way I express myself seems to push people away.
I used to try and cope by myself, but by putting my guard right up, it only made everything extremely difficult. I have managed to find someone I trust at uni who really gets me, who I know I can go to if I'm struggling. Building this relationship has massively helped me.
If I haven't had much sleep and I'm grumpy, I don't want to speak to anyone. My mum suggested keeping a mood diary, which I didn't want to do at first as I felt silly, but it did make me see the times where I felt worse and kind of what was triggering it.
When I'm panicking and my social anxiety is high, I can't usually talk. Over time I've realised that I need to open up to people and let them know how things are for me, but I have to do this before things get bad or it just won't happen.
Can you come down?
The person who always supports me is my mum. She's my rock and always knows how to make me feel better. I do have a couple of close friends from college that I sometimes see at the weekend, but they only know bits and bobs of what's going on. They do ask when they see I'm feeling down, so maybe I should be more honest with them.
When things get really intense, I can always talk to my best friend Jamie. He's so relaxed and easy to talk to. He makes me feel calm and it helps so much.
I warm to people who have time for me. I can normally tell by my gut feeling who really wants to listen or support me. One of my tutors in uni is really supportive, but I only have a couple of friends. My dad says it's quality over quantity that counts. My dad's the common one at home. He just knows how to say the right thing when I'm at my worst.
My foster carers are good, to be fair. Although I don't think they knew what they were getting into when they fostered me. If I'm in a full-on proper rage, I'm not sure there's anyone I could speak to. Maybe I need to start talking when I feel the craziness coming, before I turn a complete angry mess. There's another lad at work, an apprentice like me. Start to talk to him too.
So did you have your test today, Kate?
At school, I have a couple of friends who usually notice I'm upset and will try to comfort me. At home, I sometimes hide how I'm feeling because I worry a lot about upsetting my mum. Sometimes I talk online with other people who struggle. They can be really supportive and they don't know me, so I can say how I really feel.
My dad is my inspiration. He's done an absolute amazing job at raising me on his own. I hope that one day I'm as strong and confident as he is, and I know I will be too because he said he was like me as a kid.
Jamie inspires me. He hasn't had the easiest life, but he takes everything in stride. Nothing stresses him out and he's so good at talking to people. One day, I hope I can be like him.
My sister Kate, she's really confident and clever. She's never afraid or worried. I wish I were more like her. I hope she doesn't end up like me.
My mum inspires me. Every day she tells me that it's okay to be different and to be me. I struggle to believe this most of the time, but knowing she means it and that she's there makes me want to be more like her and believe what she's saying.
I love learning about celebrities that have had horrible starts to their lives but go on to be like mega successful. It shows me that it's possible. If they can do it, maybe I can.
I honestly suffer with my mental health to the point of physically hurt. Every day is a challenge, but I have to keep going. I keep going because I know there is a chance I can feel different one day. I know other people have gotten through this, which is why I still try.
focusing on the future works for me. Although actually, it's a bit weird because sometimes I totally can't imagine the future. I have to break down time until I can manage it. Get to the end of the day can seem a bit far off. So I focus on getting through the next 10 minutes, or 5, or 2, or even 1. But I think what helps me get through those times is the thought of a better future. I have to believe my future will be better than my past and the present.
I feel like I've done really well to get to the point I'm at now. My anxiety can kick in at any time, and when it does, it's really scary, but I am managing things much better. Dad says to take each day as it comes and that there's always a way through. I use my supports now, and before I didn't have any, so being honest about how I feel is my way forward.
For me, it's been about learning to open up, which doesn't come easy to me. I tend to close off from things and shut down, but living that way made me not want to be here anymore. It's hard to be open, but I had to find a way. Life was too hard. I guess it takes courage to try and change things, so I must have some of that.
Thanks, Mum. I feel like it has taken me a while to tell my mum about how low I've been feeling. She always knew I lacked confidence, but since I told her about having thoughts of suicide, she's literally been amazing. I was so scared to how she was going to react, so I put it down in a letter as I found this easier than saying it out loud. I was really proud of myself for telling her the truth, and I think sharing this with her is helping at the moment and keeping me alive.
My little sister keeps me alive. She looks up to me and loves being around me. I didn't have the best time growing up, so I'm the one that mainly looks after her now. I couldn't leave her. I don't know what she'd do or where she'd end up.
It might make me sound dead self-involved, but it's me keeping me alive. Me. Maybe not the me right now. Definitely not the crazy me. The me that I could be. The me that I want to be.
I feel really bad today, Mum. My mum is keeping me alive. She's the one helping me every day. She's the one that's there for me.
My pet dog Clara is keeping me alive. I've only had her for a week, but she really helps me and I could never leave her. She's just so good for me. It's like she can tell when I'm not okay.
My dad, my 2 friends and my tutor have all made me start to realise that I can feel comfortable in myself and around certain things. They've made me see that keeping myself isolated in my thoughts is what's making my life a dangerous one.
What do people say about me? My mates were saying funny, in a mad way, but good. My foster carers say I'm creative. Those are positive things. I wouldn't want to think about the things they'll be saying about me when I'm raging.
Dad says I should be my own best friend. He sees that I treat my 2 best friends with kindness, but I really don't treat myself with any sort of kindness.
I guess they would say that I'm kind. I do really care about other people and I always put others first. It's just I want everyone to be okay. I don't want anyone to feel like I do about myself, so I make an effort for them.
My mum says I'm unique and talented because of my dancing and singing, and my dance tutor at college says the same. I guess I would say I'm kind because I do think about other people, especially my mum.
Ready? People say that I try, that I don't always get it right, but they know I care.
The reason I want to stay safe is because of my mum. If I did die, she'd be on her own, and that makes me really sad. I would also like to become a professional singer or dancer, so that's also a reason. But mostly my mum. My mum thinks I should think about me more, but how can I do that when I can't even look in the mirror? The only time I do is at dance class, and sometimes I have to go to the bathroom and calm myself down.
Dad says I should stay safe for me, then I can start to build my confidence up, so when people snigger and stuff at me, it won't affect me anymore.
I want to stay safe for my sister and for Jamie. I know we're not a conventional family, but we're kind of like one. I know they would hate to lose me, so when things are really tough, I think of them.
I want to stay safe for that future version of me. I want to show the people that have abused me that they didn't break me completely. I'm stronger than they'll ever be.
I know that if I wasn't here, my mum and sister would really miss me and be sad. And I suppose that's why I want to stay safe for them. I guess a part of me also wants to stay safe for me, just to see what could happen one day.
Thanks, Kate.
When my thoughts of suicide are overwhelming, being around people like my friends and my dad can help, and that makes me feel safer.
When my thoughts of suicide are strong, I need to be able to get out. If I'm in a small space and I'm feeling trapped, I usually harm myself, so being able to step outside and get some air is the thing that helps me the most.
My thoughts of suicide are worse when I'm near something that's part of my suicide plan. When I'm struggling, I know that I'm safer staying inside. Sometimes I even put on my PJs as a commitment to not going outside.
I know I need things to do when I'm feeling crazy. But when I'm like that, I can't think of things. Maybe I should just have as many projects on the go as possible, so there are more things to do when I'm spiralling.
Okay, same thing again, but this time we'll...
Not being on my own that often, as this is when I feel not as safe. I know I can't be with people 24 hours a day, but when my thoughts start getting overwhelming, knowing there are people around me stops me acting on my thoughts of suicide.
My biggest hope is to be understood. I want people to understand that I don't want to be like this. It's not a choice, it's not my fault, and it's not theirs. It's just how I am, and I'm trying really hard to get help.
I suppose I just want people to understand that you shouldn't judge others. You don't know what they're going through, so try and be kind. And for anyone who's going through thoughts of suicide, I want them to know that they're not alone. It's happening to more people than you think.
I want to feel like I've been heard and that I'm not on my own. I feel like I've bottled all this up for so long, and to talk about it is really helpful.
I hope to come up with something, like a plan or whatever, for things to do when I'm spiralling. Like, I need a list maybe. Yeah, a list of all the creative projects, ideas I have. And the piece of music I want to play. Yeah, that'll help stop the spiralling.
I want to feel that I'm normal. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only person in the world that feels like this. So feeling like I'm not on my own and that sometimes it's okay to not be okay is quite comforting.
I don't know if I've got any strength really. I suppose don't give up. I make myself do things, I challenge myself. I suppose I could say I'm motivated, which sounds weird because sometimes I can't even face people, but I try. Is that a strength?
I don't feel very strong, ever really. But you're right, I guess it does take some strength to talk about these things, because lots of people won't say what they think about suicide. It's not an easy thing to say.
My strengths are probably my singing and dancing, but other than that, I don't know. I care about my mum, so I guess that makes me caring, but other than that, I'm unsure.
Sometimes I think I'm the most resilient person ever, after everything I've been through. Other times I feel like I've no resilience at all, because I can explode at the tiniest things. I guess I'm creative and independent. They're my main strengths.
I guess I'm caring because I really love my best friends and my dad, but I know I also need to look after myself as well, as this is something I don't really tend to do.
What do I want to achieve? Well, I want to create something brilliant. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but something that wouldn't exist if it wasn't for me.
One day I would really like to work with animals. I've been thinking about studying something to do with animals when I go to college. I could maybe volunteer at an animal shelter just to get some experience first. My ultimate goal is just to be okay.
Okay, so what do we think our character's feeling at this point? Lilia?
I think he feels disappointed in himself because he weren't honest with Rufus.
My tutor's been so amazing, it makes me feel like I wouldn't mind going into something like teaching, but I know I'd really need to work hard on my confidence and stop missing my lectures.
There's a performance that I've been asked to be in by my performing arts tutor, which I would like to do, even though I'm really nervous. I would get a certificate, which I would love to have up in my bedroom. I think I'd be really proud of myself if I was able to do that.
Hallelujah.
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 I'd like to be better, get better so I could help other people. I understand what it's like to struggle and I want to show other people that change is possible, but I need to prove that to myself first. Most importantly, I want to show my little sister that things can change, that no matter what we've been through in the past, we can still make a good future.
I like to make up dance routines and sometimes show my mum. I also like to do mindfulness, so maybe I should do more of that, especially before bed. Helps me relax and sleep better. I know it sounds boring, but spending time with my mum when I'm feeling down really helps me when I'm overwhelmed as well.
Spending time with my dad, my friends and my cat are my favourite things to do.
I'm quite a quiet person, so I like to read books and watch old films. It feels like an escape when I'm able to get lost in story. It's like a little break from my mind. I can be a part of another world, a better world, where everything is beautiful and nothing hurts.
I know I keep going on about it, but I love to create. Whether it's music or whatever, I love it. I guess part of it's because it allows me to get my voice heard. I've had years of not being heard, so that was really important to me.
I like to be outside in nature. It makes me feel alive. I love to hear the birds singing and listen to the sound of the trees blowing in the wind. When I'm outside, I can lose myself. My problems just don't seem as big anymore.